Surprisingly, this week I had a lot of energy, even after coming off of a huge weekend at work cooking for over 600 people. As stated last week, this week is our week to focus on reactivity, to take down air voltaic and our new goal of reaching platinum on bounce 180 voltaic easy. Also this week, I decided to increase my sensitivity in an attempt to make my shaky moments more noticeable so we could iron them out. Day 1. Because of our goal of taking down air voltaic easy, instead of the platinum fundamentals, we started off with the issue-specific routine that focuses on reactivity. I've played through this routine before, so I sort of knew what to expect. As I played through the routine, I noticed myself trying to predict the movements of the bots, instead of just reacting to them. So this was something I really had to focus on trying not to do. Our first personal best of the day came on air voltaic, the harder version of our benchmarking scenario, reaching a personal best of 757.3 over our previous score of 732.5. Beating my personal best on the hard version of air voltaic definitely gave me a huge confidence boost as I worked my way through the warm-up. Followed by a personal best on Grand Plaza Voltaic, the hard version, from 817.8 points to 794.7 points. Getting a personal best on Ground Plaza Voltaic was where I started really noticing the benefits of focusing on reaction and not prediction. Air Angelic 3478. A small gain of less than 10 points, a scenario I'm sure I may have only played maybe once or twice. Day 1 benchmarking. Straight into air voltaic easy, searching for the elusive platinum, looking for those 2 missing points. Last week, not being able to hit anything above 830 while my personal best being 850 points was very demoralizing for me, so hopefully our focus on reactivity was worth the while. My first run, I managed a score of 856 points, 4 points over my target of 852. I'm not sure yet if this was because I ran through the hard version earlier or because I did the reactivity warm-up. The reality is, they both probably contributed. Bounce 180 voltaic easy was chosen as a goal this week because I noticed that my dynamic clicking has taken quite the nosedive in recent weeks, and I'm really finding it difficult to reach my personal bests. 63 being my highest score I achieved with a low of 54. I move over to the hard version of the scenario to try and work on my precision and patience. After an initial run of 45, much closer to the median than I had expected. So I run through it again and reach a score of 47 and then once more with a score of 50. Returning to the easy version, I try and put as much effort into going faster, thinking that I was just going too slow, and I reach a score of 67. Day 2. Continuing my reactivity warm-up for the week, I ran through the routine pretty quickly today. Our first personal best score of the day was on VSS GP9 of 6,443. 200 points above our personal best. Our second personal best of the day was only 20 points over our personal best we got yesterday on air voltaic. Day 2 benchmarking. We start our benchmarking with bounce 180 voltaic, working on the hard version before we really go into our high scoring run. 5 pretty unremarkable runs later and I moved on to bounce 180 voltaic easy. We played through the easy version about 15 times. 5 of those ones totally distracted with chat, but we managed to raise our average a small amount, reaching some slightly higher scores than yesterday a little bit more often, some scores of 61, 63, 69, and 67. Day 3. Early today I played some Battlefield and I had a really bad round and felt like I couldn't hit anything. So as the afternoon wore on, I decided to jump on and do some random scenarios before I started the stream. Not doing anything specific, just trying to get warmed up. Running through the reactivity routine again today, really focusing on not trying to predict the bot as I have a tendency to do. My first run, I break a personal best on VSS GP9, hitting a score of 6,669, 200 points over my personal best from yesterday. Air voltaic, the second personal best today, by just 1 point, bringing my best to a nice round 777 points. Ground Plaza Voltaic, a new personal best of 834 over my previous 817 from day 1. Air Angelic 3478 has a gradual climb from 905 points to 919 points over the course of 5 runs. Day 3 benchmarking. Day 3 of struggling on bounce 180 begins as expected. a large number of restarted runs, but we start off okay, seeing consistent scores in the 60s and hitting a 68 within the first 5 runs, before dropping all the way back down to a score of 54 points and having to build myself back up again. At the end of my benchmarking session today, the highest score I hit was a 72, one shy of my personal best, and still 5 shorts of a platinum score. Next week we'll be heavily focusing on dynamic clicking, and as a punishment for my poor performance this week, I will be adding Pasu to the goals to platinum with 9 points over my current score to reach it, and my most hated scenario in my weakest category. Next week's goals: reach platinum on Pasu Voltaic Easy, reach platinum on Bounce 180 Voltaic Easy. I will be taking a look at some playlists for dynamic clicking this week, so I can use those as a warm up and add to my practice routine. Training in issue specific seems to be the most effective way for me to find improvement. I just need to make sure that I'm paying attention to why I'm failing to improve and analysing my play properly. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. It was a really tough week for me, but I think I really nailed down some tough goals for next week, and hopefully I can start making some real progress. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe so you can catch next week's. And if you feel like it, you can join me live at twitch.tv/Roofy if you would like to chat while I punish myself with dynamic clicking this week.